Alright, y'all, I wanted to react to this video by Geek Climber here. This is basically him talking about his difficulties with the front lever, and there's a few things he says that I think are a bit dumb, to be frank. So let's get into it.
In my previous front lever videos, I wrote down the math equations to show that if you have big hypertrophied upper body muscles, the front lever will be easier for you. Even though the force you can generate pound for pound from your big beautiful muscles is less than the force I can generate pound for pound from my smaller lean muscles. The front lever is easier when the angle between your torso and your arms is larger. However, there are too many math deniers out there dismissing the fact that the front lever is indeed more difficult for people like me, though the equations are clearly and transparently written down.
Yeah, so he's exactly right. It is going to be more difficult for somebody like him who has a, let's say, body type where he doesn't have a bunch of muscle in his upper body. Think of you don't need all this math to explain this here. Think about a seesaw, like in a playground, you get a seesaw, right? Now, let's say you have two kids on either side of the seesaw. One weighs 100 pounds and the other weighs, 80 pounds. Obviously, the side with the 100-pound kid is going to go down, right? And the side with the 80-pound kid is going up. Same thing with the front lever, you know what I mean? If you have a heavy upper body, it's going to be a lot easier to pull, your lower body off the ground. Same kind of thing, right? And it goes the same for like tall people, for example. Like let's say seesaw has a base that's lopsided, so one end is longer than the other, right? Obviously that long end is going to be heavier, okay? So with tall people, leverage exercises like the front lever are going to be harder. They have to get a lot stronger in their upper body to, compensate for that. Let's keep going.
A lot of people also want to see me wear a weight vest to simulate big hypertrophied upper body muscles to see if the front lever would become easier to prove the math theory. However, there are 2 points I need to clarify about this idea. First, it is way more difficult for me wearing a 20-pound vest to do the front lever than a 150-pound guy.
Look at this aging shot over here, man. Wow, okay, so he only weighs 134 pounds. Pretty small guy. Pretty good to be that light, though, if you're a climber, I gotta say. So, no wonder the guy's a better climber than me. Because I weigh about 158 pounds right now, and I'm not, I'd say I'm a little bit more jacked than this guy. Not in the chest, though. He's got a big-ass chest. Damn. Freaking aging shot over here.
Doing the front lever. Assuming the 20-pound weight vest makes my weight distribution the same as the hypothetical 150-pound guy. Yes, the required angle will become the same. But the 20-pound weight vest is a dead weight. There are no muscle fibers in them. These 20 pounds do not generate any pulling force. And on the flip side, my small lean muscles have to work extra harder to carry these extra weights. The only benefit of the
like he has small lean muscles, and other people have like big beautiful muscles that are like he's implying like they're just useless, just like show muscles or something. It's so crazy to me because I don't know, I just feel like he's insecure about his body type or something, and he's not always making excuses as to why he won't ever do the front lever or something like that. But then I think of elite climbers like Chris Sharma, Adam Andra, Alex Magos, Daniel Woods. All these guys weigh around 150 pounds, or even I think Andra might be 160 pounds or something, or 170 right now. I'm not sure, but they're all about 20 pounds or so heavier than the Geek Climber. They have pretty they have pretty big, beautiful, back muscles that are very strong. Like the relative strength is through the freaking roof, despite having, big, beautiful muscles. By the way, a 150-pound guy is not big, bro. Anyway, let's keep going.
20-pound weight vest is that it will shift the center of mass, so I can pull in a favorable larger angle, which allows my small lean muscles to generate more force. Therefore, Don't equate the front lever difficulty of me wearing a 20-pound weight vest with that of a normal 150-pound guy. Second, for most common exercises, for example, pull-ups, dips, and squats, the heavier the external weight is, the more difficult they are. The front lever, however, could be an exception for people who are strong at natural pulling angles.
You gotta work on your squat form. Let's look at that one more time. Just want to talk shit for a second. Look at the squat form, bro. He like changes his foot position at the bottom as he goes down.
The heavier the external weight is, the more difficult they are.
Look at that. Don't freaking shift your feet on a squat, bro. Oh, man. Like, find your position before you fucking squat down with that weight on your back, bro. You're gonna freaking mess your back up or your knees or something. Anywho.
The front lever, however, could be an exception for people who are strong at natural pulling angles. When an external weight is placed on the upper body while we perform the front lever, it makes the front lever both easier and harder at the same time. It makes it harder because you have to pull more weight. It makes it easier because you can have a larger angle between the torso and the arms due to the shift of center.
Yeah, so that's another problem he talks about in his other videos too, is like his arms are not that long, right? So if your arms are like the fulcrum point, you know, just like the base of a, what do you call it, seesaw is also the fulcrum. You know, if those arms are, you know, nowhere close to your center of gravity or like your hips, you know what I mean? It's gonna be harder to pull your lower body off the ground. But if they're long, let's say they're, you know, over your center of gravity or even past your center of gravity, you're gonna have a lot easier time. So he is right about that. But again, I don't think it takes a bunch of math, like, you know, trigonometry and shit to figure that out. You just gotta think about, you know, some easy concepts like, you know, seesaws and stuff that, you know, anybody who's gone to a playground knows about that kind of shit. So I would suggest for him to maybe try to use something more simple, like, you know, like a seesaw analogy. I think is pretty good, or like a scale or something would be good. All this math is probably too much for the average fitness YouTube viewer.
Mass. In order to figure out whether there's a scenario that will make the front lever overall easier for me, I added an external weight as a variable to the equations I showed in my previous front lever video and generated a plot. I'm not going into detail to derive the equations again. It should be trivial if you understand the math in my previous front lever video. For this plot, the x-axis is the angle between my arms and torso for the full front lever, and the y...
Bro, like 5% of people understand that math. You know what I mean? Especially the like, you know, common fitness YouTube viewers, maybe like 1 or 2% will like understand the math. Let me fast forward some maybe. Blah blah. Like, who cares about all this? Alright, here's something I want to talk about here, though. Okay.
Degrees, right? Not so fast yet. The numbers I can pull on the lat pull-down machine are actually an overly optimistic estimate. The front lever is actually the equivalent of pulling on the lat pull-down machine and doing a dragon flag at the same time.
Okay, so that I don't agree with at all. Front lever is not... It can be reduced to just a dragon flag and a, you know, weird, like, supine lat pull down. It's a lot more complicated than that. And this is my main qualm with a lot of what he's saying, is he keeps using all this, like, math and all these, like, false equivalencies to kind of compare this to other exercises to, I guess, measure how strong he needs to be to do this. Look, bro, this is a muscle control exercise. Like, this is a static exercise, you know? Similar to yoga, like, you have to be very good at muscle control and very good at producing a large amount of neural drive in that position and just creating a bunch of, you know, full body tension in that position. It takes a lot of work to figure it out, and you gotta just keep doing it. Like, nothing's really gonna give you a front lever more than just trying to do front levers. You know, you could do it with your legs tucked in all the way, then you can, you know, when that feels good, move on to maybe like your legs tucked in, like, not so much. And over time, just eventually extend your hips and your legs more until you're doing the whole fucking thing, right? But, yeah, I don't know why it's compared to like a lat pull down. All this shit. It's kind of stupid to me, because it's a lot more complicated than those movements. Let's keep going, though.
Though I can do the dragon flag without training for it, it is still far from being effortless. You might argue that the muscles for doing the lat pull down and the dragon flag are different. So why is this a problem? The muscles involved for doing the lat pull down and the dragon flag are mostly different, but not completely different. Not to mention other factors in play, such as the nervous system. As a result, the max load of doing both at the same time will absolutely be lower than that of doing each of them individually. If you still don't believe me, you can try to test your max one-arm dumbbell row and then test your max one-arm overhead press. Now do both at the same time with each arm. And I guarantee you won't be able to do it. Since there...
See, this is also a stupid analogy. Like, those are two totally different positions. Like, in one, his hips are hinged like 45 degrees or so, and in the other is like completely erect, like standing up straight. Like, obviously, you can't fucking do that because your hips are in different positions, so you can't perform the fucking exercise. Sorry I'm cussing so much, just how I talk. But anyway, maybe a better thing might be like, I don't know, single arm dumbbell upright row, and then like, try that in addition to the overhead press. You could probably do them both at the same freaking time because your torso, angle or whatever you want to say is like the same. And here's the thing about front levers and just static exercises in general from gymnastics is like your body's gonna be erect. It's gonna be straight, right, from head to toe straight. And what that's gonna allow you to do is to co-contract your agonist muscles with your antagonist muscles. So while your, let's say your quadriceps and your hip flexors are contracting, so are your glutes and your hamstrings, right? As well, this is like 360 degrees, not just front and back, two-dimensional. Your adductor is going to be squeezing your legs together while, let's say like your glute medius and stuff like that, your TFL are going to be, abducting, abducting them. So you have all this like co-contraction of your muscles to create this full body tension and to be rigid as possible in that position and to increase neural drive and just irradiation, if you will, of all of your muscles working together at the same time to create this position. It's not as simple as it's talking about. And this is my problem, man. It's like this guy doesn't know how to do the front lever. If he just works on, gets some good cues and maybe works with like Coach Sommers or somebody from like gymnastics bodies, I'm sure he'll figure out how to do the front lever like a lot better. And even Coach Sommer will say like in his books, man, he'll say like you can do pull-ups all you want, but the only thing that's gonna make you accomplish a full front lever is practicing the front lever, man. It's such a complicated position. You got to get really good at it. Anyway, let's keep going, man. I'm rambling at this point.
Isn't a way for me to measure how much weight I can pull on the lat pull down machine while doing a dragon flag? The best thing I can do is trial and error and figure out if there's any moment when the real red line will be above the blue line. Unfortunately, I can't find it. But I really want to show the math deniers that math is a fact that you can't deny. Therefore, I decided to plot another green line to represent the situation of the straddle front lever and did my best to estimate the extra weight that would give me a chance. And this happened.
Okay. So he's made his upper body heavier, right? So now like the left side of the seesaw, is a little heavier than the right side. So he's able to pull himself off the ground a lot easier now.
Obviously, my form isn't perfect. My hips are sagging a bit, and I only hold it for 4 seconds instead of 5 seconds. But
that's another thing, dude. Like, there's things that happen in your front lever that you just talked about, like, oh, my hips are sagging. Well, maybe, as a supplement to the front lever, strengthen your hips. That might help you out, bro.
This video is not about me claiming I learned a particular skill. Instead, it's a video that demonstrates math and physics are indeed correct for the science deniers. So this is plenty enough in my book. Of course, if I take off the weight vest, I am nowhere close to doing the straddle front lever because the angle will have to be way smaller. The angle I'm at for achieving the weighted straddle front lever is around 59 degrees with a weight vest that is almost 0.2 times of my body weight. So we can roughly draw a guesstimate black line here on what would be the weight I could pull on a lat pull down machine if it were possible.
I'm probably gonna fast forward through some of this. Again, he's going back to all this math and he's like trying to calculate like the exact strength he needs to do this thing. It doesn't fucking matter, bro. It's a little more subjective than that. Like, you gotta learn how to do the front lever, gain better control over your body and all these like co-contractions of muscles, and get better body awareness by continuing to practice, man. I know your leverages aren't great for the front lever. Mine aren't either. I haven't accomplished it yet, but I also haven't worked toward it that much. In fact, just because of this video, I think I will work toward the front lever and just kind of prove to you that it is possible despite, leverage problems. Like, I'm a fairly tall person, I have pretty long and heavy legs. But I guarantee I can do the friggin' front lever if I just tried. It might take a year, it might take 2 years, it might take longer, but if you keep trying, keep working on it, it's gonna happen eventually. People who have better leverages, it'll happen for them a lot faster, but if you just keep trying, man, you'll get it, believe me. Let's maybe fast forward a little bit. Let me see. Talk some more about the math. Oh yeah, here's something funny I want to talk about. We're like right here. Getting a DEXA scan, right?
Go do a DEXA scan. There is no way around it. I also want to thank again to all the strong calisthenics athletes who reach out to me, acknowledge that the front lever is indeed more difficult for my body type, and still try their best to help me overcome this disadvantage. As for all the train hard, be strong, don't be not strong math deniers, I don't know what else I can do to convince you that the front lever difficulty highly depends on different body types.
Yeah, and he's right. It does depend on different, body types. It's going to be harder for people like him, who have shorter arms and just lighter upper bodies, or it'll be also hard for people who are just like tall in general, or have like, an ape index, or like, arms that aren't quite as long as their head to toe, height. But again, he talks about like, oh yeah, get your DEXA scan to figure out like, what your muscle density is or whatever, your upper body relative to your lower body and all this, and do all this math. It's like, bro, no, you don't have to do any of that shit. Just, I don't know, talk to freaking Coach Sommer. Again, he has like online programs and stuff, talk to his athletes, his coaches. They will get you to do a front lever, probably within, I would say, 50 weeks or something, man. I think you could probably do it. But of course, you can keep making excuses if you want. And again, like, I commented this on one of his videos, like, he's a climber. Like, just climb, bro. The front lever doesn't matter. It's kind of irrelevant. In fact, I think a lot of people who are elite climbers can just do a front lever just because they have already the requisite the tendon and the joint strength, their elbows, upper body in general. And they also have the core strength, and they also have the body awareness, because climbing is a super intense sport in terms of core strength, upper body strength, tendon and joint strength, and also like body awareness in general. You gotta be really good, especially on overhangs and like really hard slab problems and tiny edges, to use all your body together. Again, irradiation, right? It's like the concept that, one muscle will contract harder when it's, the muscles around it are also contracting. So if you can contract pretty much your entire body, head to toe, you know what I mean? You'll be able to climb a lot better. You'll be able to do front levers a lot better too. So, I don't know, man, maybe just forget about front lever. If it's that hard for you and, you're not making good progress and you want to focus on climbing, just focus on climbing. It's totally fine to rearrange your goals, if this doesn't serve you well. Just forget about it, dude. Don't make excuses. Don't spend all this time, fighting all these haters, showing them all these like math equations they don't give a fuck about because they're too fucking stupid to understand. just explain like, yeah, this is too difficult for me right now, I'm spending too much time on it, I'd rather climb. Just tell them that, dude. Just say, I'd rather climb, I don't give a fuck about front lever anymore. That's all you gotta do, bro. Let's finish up.
Not just about, just train harder, bro. How would you feel when you struggle to understand the math at school, and I walk up to you and say, just study harder, bro? Another thing I want to address is that not wanting to build big hypertrophy muscles is my personal choice. I don't want to mess with my diet, and I still need to rock climb. Bigger upper body mass will make achieving the front lever easier, but it will make rock climbing more difficult.
Again, I don't really understand what he's got against, like, his so-called big beautiful muscles that these guys have. I mean, it's like again, look at all the elite like climbers and boulderers, like, Dan Woods, all these people. They've got some freaking muscles, man. They have huge backs, like huge rear delts. You know what I mean? Huge forearms, arms, whatever, etc. And their relative strength is through the fucking roof, man. They're doing all kinds of crazy shit. I think I saw Alex Migos doing freaking middle fingers front levers on like a 1 centimeter edge or something. I mean, the guy's fucking insane. And he has a pretty big back, man. He's jacked, he's shredded. And he probably weighs, I think, 150-ish. Most of these guys weigh between like 150 and 160. So they got like 20, 25 pounds on you. So, I mean, I don't know why you're against gaining muscle, bro. It's not going to make you a worse climber as long as you focus on strength more than hypertrophy, right? So, get those like, maybe 2 to 5 reps per set, of like, 80 to 100% of your max or something. Instead of like, reps at 12 or something like a bodybuilder would do. Yeah, let's keep going.
Nothing against most of you who want those big, beautiful muscles. But if you came and rock climbed with those big, beautiful muscles and ended up struggling to hold yourself onto the wall with your fingers, how would you feel if I walk up to you and told you, just climb harder, bro? There is also another accusation that I need to address.
I really think that he is sending a pretty bad message to the impressionable young athletes that are watching his videos. Geek Climber is basically saying that if you don't think you can do something, just don't do it. And I
don't think he's saying that necessarily, but I can understand how that comes across to some people, because he's basically, I think he set this goal maybe a year or so ago. Listen, I think he might have to double check. I think he went after the front lever twice now and kind of like, intermittently quit. But, that's on him. Like, I guess he set his goal of like, I want to do a front lever within a year or something. He didn't like meet it, so he quit. You know what I mean? It's fine to do that, I guess. But when you're a YouTuber with like 200,000 subscribers, whatever the hell he's got, then it might look bad, and maybe your followers are perceiving this in a negative way, or perceiving this in a way that's teaching them to, quit when things are too challenging. So I can kind of get where this guy's coming from, but I don't think that's the point of the Geek Climbers videos.
I think that no matter what people say or whatever science even dictates, if you want to be able to achieve something, you should be able to work for it and prove everybody wrong. And I don't know if this is going to be a controversial or hot take, but the front lever is not really a very challenging skill to perform. It's really not that.
Dude, I mean, maybe for this guy, but I think for a lot of people it is. I mean, obviously, we got the Geek Climber here failing at it for so long. I know people that are tall as shit. It took them like 5 years to get the front levers. So again, it depends on leverages, and the Geek Climber is correct about that. It's going to be way harder for people with these different leverages, like tall bodies, short arms, etc.
Hard.
Whoa. Are you serious? Of course, we should encourage kids to be ambitious and aim for big, grand things, but at the same time, we should also let them understand basic science and facts to accurately assess where they are at. If you blindly encourage a short kid by saying, "Yeah, kid, keep spending your time on basketball. You will make it to the NBA someday," in my opinion, this is what will have the real negative impact on the kid. If you are going to argue with me that if the kid knows that the science and facts are stacked against him, it will somehow affect him mentally, then it just means we should help the kid to work on his mental game instead of sugarcoating the situation.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what I think the Geek Climbers should do. Like, work on your mental game, bro. Don't give up on the front lever. I mean, if you don't give a shit anymore, then it's fine, I guess. Working your climbing, that's your priority, right? That's number one. But, it's fine to have these, like, tertiary goals, And I think you just gotta settle for slow progress, So just keep working that front lever, bro. You might get it in 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, who knows? But I guarantee if you keep working on it, you keep learning more about it, like, how to do it and stuff, how to contract muscles certain ways and yada yada yada. If you keep doing that, bro, you can probably do it. Like, you just gotta be mentally tough to, like, hang in there and, like, progress might come in years rather than months or weeks. You might work a whole fucking year and you might not see hardly any progress. And that's fine, man. You just gotta keep pushing. I think you'll get it one day, bro.
Drive this point home, using myself as an example. If you look around on YouTube on climbing or calisthenics back in 2017, before my channel even existed, there is not a single YouTuber that looks remotely like me. And on top of that, I have a huge language handicap. I acknowledged all the disadvantages, but did I let them affect me mentally? No! Guess what? I did the impossible and is sitting on 200k subscribers right now.
Well, why don't you do the impossible and do the fucking front lever? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's making these arguments, but he's not making this kind of, like, connection. Like, you can use the same, basic argument to argue, like, well, dude, just stay mentally strong and keep grinding on the front lever. You'll get it one day. Like, don't give up on it.
Flip side, did I dismiss the disadvantages and pretend that they didn't exist? No, I wasn't dumb enough to quit my full-time job to go all in on YouTube in the climbing and calisthenics niche. For all the kids and young athletes out there watching my videos, the Western philosophy of being ambitious, aiming high, and chasing the dream are all great. But you also need a bit of Eastern philosophy of understanding basic science and being practical at times to get the best of both worlds. Best of luck.
That was an odd statement to me. I don't know. I don't really understand. Let me listen to that again. Something about the West and the East being different. That seemed kind of oddly racist to me. Or just like kind of, I don't know.
Feel being ambitious, aiming high, and chasing the dream are all...
So being ambitious and chasing your dreams, aiming high is a Western philosophy? That just seems stupid to me. Doesn't everybody in the world want to, like, accomplish shit?
Great. But you also need a bit of Eastern philosophy of understanding basic science and being practical.
So understanding science is an Eastern philosophy. I don't fucking get that. Whatever.
At times to get the best of both worlds. Best of luck to your very bright future. Lastly, am I going to continue training for the front lever? Yes, but I'm not going to focus on it.
Wait, so he is going to train. Okay, so he's going to continue? Hold on. What is this video about then? I thought he was gonna quit.
Best of luck to your very bright future. Lastly, am I going to continue training for the front lever? Yes, but I'm not going to focus on it. There are still a lot more calisthenics moves that are more achievable for my body type that I haven't achieved yet. I would rather focus on those first. Thanks for watching.
Okay, I guess, I totally get, like, if there's things that are easier to accomplish, maybe chase after those first. But at the same time, it's like if the front lever is the thing you're aiming for, I don't think doing a fucking planche or doing, I don't know, whatever, what's some other shit, a side lever or back lever, I don't think any of that is going to carry over to the front lever strength. Believe me, I've done a full back lever for like 20 fucking seconds, dude, with a false grip, but I can't do a front lever at all right now. I can do maybe like a half lay for 5 seconds or something, but there's zero carryover. I'm telling you, these skills are so unique, man. It takes such a specific full body contraction. Like, nothing's really gonna help you out that much, any more than just doing the front lever does. So if that's your ultimate goal, just fuck everything else. Do the damn front lever, dude. Just keep grinding at that. But it seems like he wants faster results. And I guess he's got a YouTube channel, pretty popular. So he wants to show, like, linear progress. And it's hard to do that with these hard skills like front lever that might take, over a year to accomplish. Or even maybe a fucking decade if you're like a tall guy with short arms, for instance. So I get it. You want to see results faster, but I think that's kind of a weak mindset in my opinion. But I do apologize for my, other statements, earlier saying that you're going to quit because you just said you aren't going to quit. So sorry I said, that I implied that you're a quitter. Obviously you're not. But at the same time, it's like, you're searching for this, like, more, more instant gratification, I think you should just, be a little stronger willed, stronger minded, and just, go for the gold and keep grinding. And you don't even have to make videos about it, dude. Just like keep going after it and keep making climbing videos. Honestly, I think you should keep to like climbing shit and leave calisthenics to like the calisthenics guys.
If you appreciate this kind of science-based content instead of the conventional train hard, be strong, don't be not strong content, definitely consider supporting my latest 5-bar venture. A lot of thought went into the formulation of 5-bar. I take the nutrients
peddling this freaking bar, so that's cool. All right, well anyway, that's my that's my review of this video. It ended up being like half an hour long, so I'm sorry for that. But what's my closing statement? I guess my closing statement is things like the front lever are hard, and they might take years to accomplish, especially if your leverages aren't ideal. But don't quit, man, and don't make excuses. And don't waste time doing the math and doing DEXA scans and all this like extra bullshit. It won't fucking matter. What matters is learning how to do front lever, maybe like hiring a coach or something that has taught people that in the past and knows how to get you there. And keep working on it, keep figuring out what you need to do to make it happen. But I mean, according to Coach Sommer and according to a lot of the gymnastics coaches, the only thing that's gonna make it happen is actually just practicing, man. Practicing a lot, building, accumulating volume, and just keep practicing, keep getting that body-mind connection stronger and stronger, that neural drive stronger and stronger, and it'll happen eventually, dude. But in the meantime, who gives a fuck, dude? You just keep climbing, do your thing. Anyway, y'all, that's it. Peace.